Hello and welcome back everyone to the next episode on overview training on SAP Datasphere with me on anubhavtrainings.com. In our last episode, we talked about how to integrate SQL script with SAP Datasphere to build a SQL view. In today's session, you will see how to add SQL script inside Dataflow. Many of you have come to me asking a question, is it possible to integrate SQL script with the data flows? Because at the moment, the only option we see there is the Python. So Anubhav, can we add SQL script with Datasphere? And the answer is yes. How to do that? We will be seeing in today's class. Before we proceed further, I would request you to kindly smash the like button. Please share this video with your friends and colleagues. And don't forget to subscribe the channel along with the bell icon so you will get notified for free videos like this. Having said that, let's learn how to integrate SQL script with data flows. So I will go back to the SAP system and I'll show you in the last episode we have created a sales revenue by city view, SQL view, where we have written the SQL scripting code. I would like to now use this information and utilize this information to integrate with the data flow. So it's very simple. You just go back. Remember the name of this view where we have written the SQL script name. It's view sales revenue by city. And I go to data builder to create a data flow now. So let's go to data flow. And now over here, simply you can pick up the view which you had created, which contains the SQL script. Yes, is that simple? And that's it. Thank you. Done. So you can see we have integrated the SQL script with the data flow. You can also further do aggregation, summation, enrichment, join, lot of stuff you can do further. But for now, let me just persist a table out of it. And I will go back to detail. Let's call it as revenue by city. And I will create and deploy this table. So this view is our SQL view with SQL script code. Now, while creating this, you can also choose the setting, how you would want the data flow to treat this data every time. I say every time, please flush out the data from my table. And after that, push the new data coming from the SQL script. So I deploy now my data flow. So say data flow SQL script and click on save button. So it is deploying the flow now. And right after the execution of the flow, we will have a table with the revenue by city. Let's trigger the execution. The data flow is now running. Your ETL process is running, which contains the SQL script now. And once the run gets executed, I should see my data in my revenue by city database table. So it is executing my SQL script, which is written inside this view, performing all the calculations with the revenue calculations along with the tax based on the payment mode done by the customer as per our last episode, and it's finished. Let's preview the data. So now I go back and check my data, and this seems to be an issue with Datasphere. Ideally, it should display us the data once the execution is successfully completed. Yes. And yes, finally, you can see the data is coming. It was just a refresh issue. And eventually we have got our data displayed in the output. So it has persisted my data now in the output, and I've got the sales revenue by each of the city. Fantastic. So this is how you can integrate the SQL script with the SAP data flows in SAP Datasphere. All right, so that comes to the end of this episode. I hope you're enjoying this video series with me, Anubhav, on SAP Datasphere. So I would request you to kindly share this video with your fellow colleagues and also subscribe the channel if you have not done so that you will be notified automatically once I upload the next video on this free series. Once again, Anubhav signing out. Look forward for live training on SAP Datasphere. Watch out on anubhavtrainings.com. You can also send us an email on contact@anubhavtrainings.com for a detailed corporate training on SAP Datasphere. Thank you so much. See you and goodbye.